Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 963. I am your host, Matrix Lloyd 212, and I'm with Sally. What's up, Sally?
What's up?
What's up, Hayden?
Just mute my episode of Seinfeld so we can talk about Doctor Who.
Okay. So why don't you just tell us? Basically, you were right, first of all.
Well, come on, we won't get too excited, but it's pretty much in the bag. We're getting from multiple news outlets, many notable and quite credible news outlets, that the 13th Doctor has indeed been cast in the form of Mr. Kris Marshall, the star of Death in Paradise. They said they wanted a dashing young man with ginger hair and a bit of facial hair, which I'm hoping he keeps for the series. And the Mirror and the Daily Sun, is it the Daily Sun or the Sun? The Mirror, the Sun, and many other Australian news outlets are reporting that this is seemingly a done deal, and he will indeed appear in episode 12 of this series.
Okay.
So, Mr. Kris Marshall, we are quite sure that he is the 13th Doctor.
Now, will he also be in the Christmas special?
Yes, he will. Apparently, it's going to be a bit of flashbacks and flash forwards between the two Doctors.
I see. Now,
yes.
I remember you giving me some information about the new series that you heard. Is that real?
Oh, no, this was more just a speculatory thing going around to do.
Okay.
There are ideas going around that if Doctor Who is such a mess and it's flopping as bad as some people think, that the idea of a rebooted universe, like in Star Trek with the Prime and the new universe, that there would be a sub-universe which the show would ultimately reboot itself within, in which all the events of history would be rewritten, and the Doctor would be the only one who remembers everything from the old universe, basically.
Right. But that's extreme. They didn't do that
that's
yet.
Extreme. This is like Plan D in BBC's options.
Right.
So, but right now it looks like Series 11. We're going to just have this. I don't know if Pearl Mackie is staying on. The rumor is she was leaving, but because we know she will be in the Christmas special with the new Doctor, there is obviously a chance that she could be staying on for a few episodes at least next year.
So that's confirmed definite she's in the Christmas special?
As far as I'm aware, I think so, yeah.
So I thought that she leaves the last episode in the Christmas special, she's not in it. So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure just yet. Because what I've heard, I'm pretty sure she's in the Christmas special.
I mean, well, Sally, you saw pictures of Kris Marshall, right?
Yeah, I've seen like bits of his old show.
What do you think?
I think he's all right.
Yeah?
I mean, I haven't seen that much of him, but from what I've seen, he's all right.
Okay. So now I want to jump now to your reaction to the pilot, Doctor Who Series 10, first episode opener, the pilot, which Moffat claims to want it to be like a reboot of the series where everybody draws in all new fans and everything, that it's going to be a monumental episode that everybody's going to love. What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like the best episode, in Doctor Who history, but
right.
I thought it needed to do what it needed to do.
Right. I mean, we have a new companion. Then every time we have a new companion, I mean, I don't like when he says things because it's like that means every single time we have a new companion is like a reboot, and I don't like the term being used loosely because the universe ain't changed, nothing's changed. It's connected to the old series, so all right. So you just thought it was an okay episode. That's what you're saying?
Conafali, the man.
Not bad.
Oh boy. All right. So we'll continue with Sally. So Sally, what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What's up, Connor?
Hello.
Oh, let's see. I mean, I think Bill's okay. She's not my cup of tea, but I know she is. I know other people like her. But
okay.
That's okay. She's just not for me, but I know other people like her.
Right. I mean, how about I ask some questions? Maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Do you think that this was a great choice for a villain for a rebooted series that's going to bring in millions and millions of people into the show, and then, oh my God, this is oh my God episode, oh my God. I mean, is this the villain you would have chosen? The puddle monster?
I mean, when they brought the show back, they had the Autons.
Right.
You have chosen that as the first monster?
Right. But, I mean, are you happy with this choice?
It's okay. I mean, I wasn't, like, I was expecting to be wowed, I guess. I was going, like, great, it's back. It's been off for a year. This is great. And I'm like, okay.
What did you think, Joe?
Well, I mean, looking at the episode after I watched it a couple times today, I see that the Doctor built Nardole as the ultimate companion so he would never have a companion again, ever. That's what I get from the episode, that he just doesn't want to have a companion anymore because it's too painful. Maybe Nardole isn't actually Nardole, but just an android or robot or whatever, and it's like in the image of Nardole was.
Here's the problem with that. The last companion before Bill was Clara, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The exact same storyline happened when Amy and Rory left. The Doctor never wanted a companion again because it was too much. And the very next companion, it's the same story again, repeated. I never want a companion again. It's too heartbreaking. And then
this is what I was talking about. This is like, why are we repeating ourselves, even though it's a different Doctor? It's how many times you're going to retire? How many times you're going to retire?
It seems as if this was a recycled script from Clara's introduction. Like, he had two ways to introduce the companion after Amy and Rory. So he recycled one of the scripts and then used it now for the next companion, because he was going to use that originally if Clara was a little bit different.
I see. That's what you think. Okay.
Technically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, my rating has changed. I mean, I gave a rating of a 4.
Oh,
I'm gonna give it as a 5, meaning average. But you know, that's all I'm gonna give it. That's not gonna change now. Because yes, we've had far worse that would be considered below average. So I did like some stuff with Bill, and I did like the chemistry and stuff. I really don't get the whole, oh my God, I'm looking at someone, I'm in love with someone, but I don't kiss the person, I don't date the person, and I hardly ever talk to the person, but this person's my whole universe. That was weird. I mean, it was just like they met twice or whatever. It's like, oh, hi.
It wasn't pure love, it was a crush.
Right, I know, but usually a crush, you try to encounter your crush more often than out of the whole year twice or 3 times.
Too much too soon.
What, Hayden?
It was a bit too much too soon. Like, it was a bit of a creepy relationship. Like, she was obsessed with this girl after, like, seeing her once, kind of thing.
Right.
She did try and pursue her quite a bit, to be honest.
I mean,
particularly when they're walking to that puddle, like, she's like, "Can I come with you?" And you know, she's quite, you know.
Oh, you can tell she's smitten by it, right? She's like, "Oh God, yes." Right.
The important thing about this episode is you have to remember it takes place over a couple of months. So not necessarily all of what happens is on screen. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I figured, being that she only encountered her like 3 times in like a whole year's time, probably, or whatever, or maybe a couple months, like you're saying, 6 months or 4 months.
You have to remember also that, as Bill said, they're in the same lecture. They both go to the doctor's.
So she sees her every day.
Yeah, so she could technically talk to her every day.
Right.
You know,
gotcha.
Because it would be time wasting if you just constantly showed Bill and Heather having a conversation.
Well, I didn't expect that.
She reminded me of Clara, just really personalityless, and really just kind of cute, but that's about it. Not Bill, the girl Bill was crushing on.
Heather?
Yeah.
Heather?
Yeah, I could see that.
I think she was supposed to be like that though. She was supposed to be like really depressed.
Yeah. And they kill her. The huddle thing kills her. Which,
Yeah.
watching it again, it seemed like there was a couple of aliens in there. I mean, I guess there was a water ship, if I'm wrong, Connor, that wasn't really from our dimension or something, and it crashed, and they're in the water like this whole race, so they wanna drive her like a ship, I guess.
Yeah, she's the pilot.
Right. But then she's emotionally attached to, Bill, which is kind of like offsetting the relationship, I guess, of the alien with the host, possibly, because of a promise, maybe.
No, I think that to be honest, I never really got from Heather that she was in love with Bill until the bit where they sort of like held hands.
Right.
And she showed Bill her whole universe or something, or history or whatever.
Right.
So
I mean, if these aliens are driving around in a human as a water creature, right? Their intent with Bill was what? To go new places because of Bill?
No, to be honest, I don't think they had anything to do with Bill. It
was just a Heather, right? It was
more that they, the alien just wanted to kill Bill and the Doctor because, they were trying to save the day. It wasn't really...
Like, in other words, the alien used Heather, but then this promise got away that was kind of controlling the ship, which is Heather.
So in other words, Moffat had a premise, but he didn't actually have any idea of what the hell he wanted the monster to do once he got the girl.
I know, they didn't really explain it that well.
It's like 1 minute she's like nice, and you're like, oh, shit, I'm going this way. It's like, well, wait a minute, you're not eating me? Or you are eating me? But then you grab in a face? Like, this is what I don't understand.
Bill's mum reminds you of Jackie Tyler, like a lot.
Yeah.
Like a
lot.
lot.
And then they did the thing with the long clock was supposed to be like Rose waking up and doing this and doing that. And, I mean, I saw a lot of similarities. If you actually look at the lecture that he's talking about many different Doctor Who episodes that Moffat has written that it's just thrown into a lecture. Like he's talking about paintings, meaning the 50th, he's talking about many episodes that Moffat has written thrown into like this intellectual time speech, which was amazing. I did have to say. But he's talking about in Magicians, meaning Moffat's episode, but just like in time in general, if it existed all at the same time.
Oh no, the Magician reference wasn't a reference to Magician's Apprentice, if that's what you're thinking.
I'm saying it's not in direct reference to Magician's Apprentice, but a lot of the stuff that he said had to do with, indirectly the episodes, not necessarily saying it's the episodes, but
basically. And I know which speech you're talking about. It was the one about time basically being a city.
Right.
Wasn't it? Yeah. The whole point was that time is life.
Right, I know.
And life is time. It's... Right. I wouldn't read too much into what the words meant, unless, of course...
I noticed... I mean, I just saw it as not necessarily he was trying... I mean, it was just a nod to fans that not really intricate, but, like, we know what he's talking about. And also, I noticed on his desk was like a model of what his time stream was in the Name of the Doctor, like sorta. Besides pictures of River, picture of Susan, there was like that weird branch thing in that cube that was like what his time stream was, meaning that was a monumental thing in his life because he died in Trenzalore and Clara, but it was just there on the desk that he made probably. I mean, what I got from this episode really was, and I think that he built Nardole so he would never have a companion again. Nardole was like the handles, recycled into human form. And that all he would need was handles, and he wouldn't need a companion anymore. And handles was like, you want me to dispose of this human, meaning that it is true that Nardole was like a butler because he's like a robot. In fact, all the stuff that he cares about the Doctor is really stuff that the Doctor put in there for him that he has to care about the Doctor and stuff. So, I mean,
So
that's what I.
Is that how he knows how to fly the TARDIS?
Right, like he programmed him, maybe.
Can I make a comparison here to Doctor Who kind of repeating itself in terms of their time? Now, not in terms of writing or anything, but let's look at the Doctors, right? In the 70s, we had Tom Baker, who was like the Doctor. Everyone loved him.
Yes.
And then we had Peter Davison, who people who loved Tom Baker kind of were iffy, but then other people loved him, and he was the young kid's first Doctor because he was young and cool. And then after that, we obviously had Colin Baker, who was split down the middle, and he felt a bit betrayed by the fans, and he left because he was a darker Doctor, and the show was off the air for a year and everything. This is exactly the same as right now with David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi. David Tennant was like the Tom Baker of era. Then we had Matt Smith, who was like the Peter Davison, the way younger one. And then we had the way older one, who was a bit darker and stuff, who the show suffered some, ratings losses through his tenure and whatnot, which is just like Colin Baker. So am I the only one who's seeing parallels between this and the 80s? The John Nathan Turner equals Stephen Moffat era?
You're not really too far off with that. Only thing is, though, I like Peter Capaldi a lot better than Colin Baker. But
I'm saying in the overall fan base, though, like Colin Baker, how he was darker and not as many people grew to him, and like the writing of the show kind of ruined his performance, and the ratings kind of didn't allow him to shine.
I think that happens with Moffat, with Capaldi, that he just doesn't get how to write for the Doctor, right? Like Capaldi's Doctor, because now 1 minute he's having him with his hoodie comfort look that he had in Series 9, but then all of a sudden, boom, snap a finger, he's in his suit, his doctor suit, and, in fact, I gotta say that there was a scene in the TARDIS when Bill first goes in the TARDIS, and you see him from, like, he's like there with his suit. He actually looks, like, fantastically in shape.
I thought he looked like Matt Smith when he turned around with Clara on the console when he turned it on. Remember that?
He looks just fantastic shape, like almost as if he is thinner and younger. And Capaldi just seems to me like he's got that vibrance, that glow, that, God, I'm so happy to be doing Doctor Who after chilling in my house for a year. Not that he was, but it's like the same thing everybody felt. Like, thank God Doctor Who's back on, Thank God, let's get on with it. It's like shit. Like, I'm going to leap out of the TARDIS and, swim around in space and, like, do crazy shit. It's like, yeah. But, like, I like that.
I like that he's got all of his old screwdrivers like pens in a holder.
I mean, I could see how that is a cool thing. But to me, I'm, like, thinking of the notion, well, the reason he destroyed the Sonic Factor in the first place is he didn't want people to get their hands on the Sonic, but now he's just putting in a cup on his desk. That's weird. I mean, that's Moffat's story, by the way. From The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances. He just didn't want anybody in the universe to have Sonic screwdrivers. So he made it a banana factory. So when Moffat contradicts himself, Moffat's like, I wrote that sucks. And then he does something like, I mean, I know it's just for the fans, but, that type of power with a Sonic screwdriver, you wouldn't just put, like, all those in a,
Are you talking about when they destroyed the Sonic Davison's era?
I'm talking about in Christopher Eccleston episode of The Empty Child, where the Doctor reveals that, well, Captain Jack was talking about how there was a Sonic factory that was destroyed and was turned into a banana factory.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember that. It's funny.
Yeah. There was the explanation about why everybody, like, because he was like, how could you have a Sonic gun? Meaning, like, he destroyed the whole factory so nobody would have it, but because he's a time agent, he snapped in there, grabbed one, snapped out. Like, only a few people have it. Probably time travel.
I miss Captain Jack. I miss that character.
Me too. So
I feel like Moffat, like, why is he so scared to have, like, awesome...
I mean, he mentioned Captain Jack. I mean, the Doctor mentioned Captain Jack to his shoulder. Why couldn't you just get him in there? I don't understand.
He wants to be in it. It's pretty obvious that he wants to do it.
Does he want to do it, or is he, like, making it to fans like he wants to do it, but not really?
I absolutely think he wants to do it. He'd do it for $1. He would come back any day of the week.
No, I know John Barrowman wants to come back, but do you think that maybe Russell...
No, Moffat thinks that it'll overshadow his character.
That's what I'm saying.
It is his character. It is his character.
Well, no, it's kind of Russell T. Davis's mostly.
Yeah,
Because Russell T Davies is the one that did Torchwood
Moffat
series.
kind of wrote his introductory dialogues and stuff that actually made us kind of get a jiffy, though, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that he said in the past. He never wanted to have a master go up against his doctor because he wanted his doctor to be the dominant one, always defeating the villain, never being defeated. And then he changes it with Capaldi, where let me just throw a couple at you and see what happens. It's weird.
Well, how about we talk about the possible new Doctor, Marshall?
Yes.
I want to get Sally and Connor's perspectives.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
I want it to be a woman.
I know you do.
I'm sick of the young male, good-looking.
With red hair, though?
No, not red hair. I think it needs a serious reboot in terms of like I don't see why a female Doctor would kill the show. I'm not gonna stick by a show that is stuck in the we just need a David Tennant sort of lookalike every 3 years now.
But it's not that.
If you're going to do that, why don't you just get David Tennant? If you're just going to get a David
that seems like where it's going. I don't like it.
I think the show hasn't been able to get out of that, David Tennant, I miss him slump. Like, it's been such a slump since Tennant left, and everyone's just still
I think they just used to Tennant and Smith being young. I think that's what the fan base is used to. And then, they're not used to Capaldi. And, I mean, it sucks that they got rid of him. Like, they made him quit.
Moffat should have left with Smith, and Capaldi should have had his own writer, and that would have really helped.
I agree.
Yeah, I think the writing really hurt him.
Really, really hurt him. Because I stopped watching the show because of the writing, not because of Capaldi. Because I think Capaldi's fine in moments. I just think he's very uneven in terms of his character. Like, sometimes he's the dark Doctor, sometimes he's the quirky, fun Doctor. But then, it's just Moffat writes a different Peter Capaldi every season, and he doesn't kind of know what he wants to do with him.
I get that he just doesn't you could see very apparent that the flow with him and Smith, because that was his doctor, and the flow with him and Capaldi, it's just like some type of restriction there. Like, it's not a complete relationship. It's like a relationship that's going to divorce itself. It's like with Matt Smith. I think
Capaldi challenges him, though. I think Capaldi actually fights back with Moffat over his scripts, and that makes Moffat write him less good, because I guess
because he makes him look like
he can't write him the way he wants to write him, and he wants to kind of, bow to Capaldi because he's kind of the older, superior actor compared to Moffat, who's this, fat writer.
I mean, you get the impression through little interviews. There's so many interviews with Moffat that you could probably piece it together, but you get the impression, like, when Capaldi first started, he was, this is going to be fantastic, whatever. He was all for it, Moffat, thinking that this is going to be smooth sailing like Matt Smith, whatever. And then little things that mean a lot, like him choosing the costume for the Doctor, Capaldi's like taking pictures with Sean Pertwee, and he's like, this is what I'm going to use. And it's like totally like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. And then it was like, oh, shit. And then you could see in Moffat's interview, it's like he's pissed by it, but like he brushes it off like it's no big deal. But it is, because in his head, it's like he's fucking pounding mad about it, Just like, Capaldi, wants a Cyberman. He wanted that. Matt Smith never really asked him, could you put these things in the episode? Could you put these things in the episode? He joked around, it'd be great if I could fight the Master. And guess what? That never happens. He joked around, it'd be great if I have a dinosaur or whatever, in the prehistoric era, and that never really happens. But with Capaldi, I do feel that he said a lot of things on set that he wanted to do, or we can't do it this way, we can't do it that way. And I feel that, again, it seeps into the writing of Moffat, where it's just, he doesn't even know himself he's doing it. And it's just that little anger there, like this, and then it comes out and you're like, oh, shit. He just told Clara to go F herself, and I don't give a shit about the Earth. and I'm going to leave you on a moon in a spaceship. It's like, whoa. You know, it's like different things happen with the character. You know, not that Moffat does have an influence over the other writers, but it's, I don't know. We lost Connor. Okay. Anything else we can get from this episode? The pilot. I mean, will this be remembered?
Probably not.
Hayden, will this be remembered? Actually, nobody's going to remember this episode of Rare Whovians Guest. Nobody's speaking. No. Hayden, you there? Man, tough crowd today. All right. I don't think it's going to be remembered. I think it's just going to be like people are going to forget that this is even a Moffat, and then they're going to just like skip over this episode when it comes to listing the episodes. It's probably very low on a totem pole, I think. And again, it's not. I'm not. If you don't like something, you don't like something. It doesn't mean that it's negativity. It's just you either like something, you don't like something. You know, people get very critical of people for not liking an episode. I've seen that. You know, Sally.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot like an episode. It doesn't mean crap. You know, it's just not your cup of tea. It's really not my cup of tea. And you know, it's time to get some new tea. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens in the next episode. Unfortunately, I'm not really too crazy about emoji robots, but you know what? And that's another thing too. I really want people to, like, when they're looking at the stuff with Doctor Who and stuff, it's like I don't want people to get used to shit. Like, if all we're given is garbage, people should not start liking garbage and getting used to the stink and getting used to the stuff. Because it's like, you could put out any episode of Doctor Who and the ratings show that it's dropping, which is the real reaction. But then the fans are like, oh, this is great, because they haven't seen it in a while. So they're like, yeah, that's great, because I haven't seen it in a while yet. But it's not really great. And I think we need to hold the writers accountable, and we want something better after 54 years. We want, you know, something unique, we want a beginning, middle, and end for an episode. Just like, you know, The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, Silence of the Library, Forest of the Dead, Girl in the Fireplace, Blink. We want open and close, you know? And we're not getting that lately. I feel, Sally. I don't know about you.
But do you think this show has gone on for so long that they're starting to run out of ideas?
I think Moffat's running out of ideas. I think that's why he needs to go. He just is existing in the Doctor universe. Just let me throw this out there. Let me throw this out there for them just to have something. And it's not really. But the only problem with that is you get stale episodes and crap episodes mixed with great episodes. Like he'll pull. This season will probably go down in history as a mixture where on some scale you have horrible episodes, and then you have okay episodes, and then you'll have like the greatest episode of all time thrown in the end, like the finale, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then could you really get excited about the season from one episode or two episodes, or you just, you know, I'm talking about the overall picture of the season, and that's the series. And I think that the whole series needs to be with tender love and care. The whole series needs to have the action, the impact. Series 9, everybody's talking about The Magician's Apprentice, The Witch is Familiar. Everybody's like, oh, this shit is the greatest shit ever, right? You knew that when it was over, it was going to be fillers. Like, whatever, regular. But you know what? If you put such a dramatic thing into 2 episodes, why not make it the whole season like that? Why not make it Key to Time season or something that intricate, like the whole season's together and it's action-packed, crazy, you know, besides being action-packed on some ends, in other ends it's character-driven. It's, you know, situations that arise, that test the limits of the companion, the Doctor, their relationship, you know, the aliens, you know, we're going to have to find out this season how it's going to go. But to me, it's like he's putting all this stuff in there, like Missy, the man, you know, and John Sims Master, because it's too little too late, I feel. You know, if you did that in Series 8, maybe that would have made a difference. Or Series 9, but you just, now this is the end of the end. So
Yeah.
now, are you going to go out with a bang, but your whole run is going to be, Capaldi's going to be like, you know, it's like sort of mopping. So, again, I'm not really, you know, leaping, running to the house, to the TV to see emojis, but we'll see. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. You know. Sally, do you think that Nardo is like what I think it is, that he built Nardo as the ultimate companion so he wouldn't need companions?
I think maybe he's part robot. I think didn't he say, the doctor said he touched his head?
Yeah, reattached his head, or he fixed him, or whatever it was.
Yeah. So maybe he's part robot. I don't know.
Oh, so you think he's part robot, part human, right?
Maybe.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Again, if you like the episode, fantastic. If you don't, fantastic. We want all opinions shown on here, so if you want to join the show, let us know. Other than that, take care. Bye for now.